AI search engines are the future. And if you want to make sure that you or your clients get found in this new world, this video is for you because I'm going to be walking you through an AI search engine optimization checklist or a Geo, AIO, whatever you want to call it. This checklist will help you get found in AI search engines like Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. I personally think Gemini is going to be the winner because Google has all of your data. So if you just want to skip the queue before even getting to this checklist and learn how to rank in AI search engines, head over to Gemini Advanced Deep Research, type in the keyword that you want to rank for. So let's say you want to rank for best SEO agency London. And when you type this in, Deep Research is essentially like a PhD research assistant that's going to build you a research plan for that topic or that keyword. And when you scroll down, you're going to see all the steps that Gemini is going to go through in order to find the best SEO agencies in London. And all you need to do is make sure that you are doing these things or have these things included on your website in order to boost your chances of showing up. So, just for example, you can see that step 6, it's identifying agencies that demonstrate thought leadership in SEO industry through blog posts, webinars, or conference presentations. So, if it's so important for you to rank for this, then you would want to make sure that you follow all the steps and demonstrate them accordingly. However, just going straight into the checklist, and by the way, if you want to see me walk through a complete overview of how AI search engines work, head to the first link in the description because I brought together a full mini course. Now, this AI search engine checklist is going to help you rank in ChatGPT or SearchGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, etc. There's 8 steps, and I'll walk through them now. The first one is I want you to build a list of the top lists in your industry and outreach to them in order to get listed in the top 3. So listicles might be, let's just run with the same example before. If you're an SEO agency in London, you'd want to reach out to all the lists that walk through the best 10 SEO agencies in London and make sure you're featured in these because LLMs and AI search engines train on this information and pull from that information in order to provide the best answers. So, to give you another example, if we use ChatGPT and we switch search on and go from there for best running shoes, if you actually look at the sources that are included here, you'll see that a lot of the sources are listicles, top 10 best running shoes, best stability shoes, top 12 running shoes. These are what these AI search engines often pull from. And not only do you get a backlink when you feature on these, but you also train AI search engines that you are the best or you are the thing that should be included for whatever keyword to boost your chances of showing up in AI search engines. The second thing that I want you to do is build relevant reviews. When you look at the ranking factors when it comes to AI search engines and LLMs will often look at review platforms in order to decide whether they should recommend a business or not. And the reason being is LLMs, AI search engines, they have no personal experience themselves. So they have to pull from the experience that other people have had in order to decide whether your business is good or not. So make sure that within your processes, you've actively built in order to collect reviews from past, present, and future customers to make sure that you're constantly building up the bank of reviews. And again, just going back to the example that I showed you before for best SEO agency in London, you can see here step 6. Check online reviews and ratings from independent platforms to gauge the overall reputation of these agencies. Reviews are so important. They not only boost your conversion rates, but they also boost your ranking on AI search engines. Then moving on to the third one is I want you to do a audit of your brand. I want you to ask AI what it already knows your brand. So you can essentially audit what is the state of my website and brand in AI search engines right now. You should also then look for the sources that it pulls from so you can then begin to influence what AI search engines know. So for example, I'm the founder of SEO Space. I built the SEO plugin for Squarespace. And if I wanted to audit my brand, I'd go over to ChatGPT or your preferred AI search engine and ask it to tell me about that brand, or you could ask it to tell it about your brand. And as you can see here, it's telling me everything that it's found about SEO Space. I've also got the ability to see all of the sources that it's pulled from, which is really helpful because there might be something that's wrong. Maybe AI search engines don't even know about your brand. And this gives you at least a starting point in order to be able to optimize your presence and learn how you can influence these AI search engines, because you can also do this for your competitors as well. For example, just pulling on the point that I said to you before, this is a piece of UGC about my brand. This wasn't paid. One of our fantastic affiliates did this for SEO space. And you can see that by doing these things, by activating affiliates and by activating the sort of sources that AI search engines are pulling from, you can begin to get an understanding of how you can influence them. For example, here, that's actually a new homepage that we're building that shouldn't be live. It might be pulling incorrect information from there. I can then, create an action plan in order to change that. So that is the third thing. Now moving on to the fourth thing when it comes to AI search engines, and that is making sure that you add schema markup to key web pages with ideally fact-filled, unique information on your web page. And you want to make sure that your web page has a clear structure and has value as high up the web page as possible. So, for example, let's say you have a really valuable FAQ section. Make sure that you add FAQ schema to that web page, as well as also add any other helpful information as high up the web page as possible, so that LLM scrapers can retrieve this information easily and be more likely to cite it in its answers in the future. This is a really easy step that you should follow, but it's definitely not something that you should avoid, especially because adding schema markup is pretty easy to do. Now moving on to the fifth step, and that is making sure you match search intent across your whole website. And the reason being is, and this was a really helpful fact from Surfer SEO, they found that only 52% of sources cited in AI overviews rank in the top 10. So to give you an example, if I just type in, a keyword and then look for AI overviews, what this stat says that the websites featured here, 52% of the time, these web pages were not on page one for this search term. So what this means, if you want to rank in AI overviews, you can't just focus on one web page. You've got to make sure your whole website has valuable information and you're matching the intent of your target customers. You're satisfying every single part of their need across your website in order to maximize your chances of showing up in AI search engines. Because as this stat shows, it's no longer enough just to make sure you're ranking on page one of Google. You want to make sure that your other pages on your website are also doing the job. Now, moving on to the sixth step of this checklist, I want you to make sure that your content is accessible with clean HTML and has a good structure. One killer for ranking on AI search engines is relying on too much JavaScript, because actually only Gemini and Applebot will render JavaScript. So for example, if you want to show up in ChatGPT, if you had too much JavaScript onto your website, ChatGPT's bots wouldn't be able to pick up this information. So that information wouldn't be able to be showed by ChatGPT. So you want to make sure that you've got a really easy to load, cleanly structured website with clean HTML, with a good structure, following SEO best practices to make sure that most LLMs can actually pick you up and rank you. Then moving on to the seventh step, and that is to continue ranking well on Google SERPs and also Bing. As I showed you in the example earlier, by using deep research, you can pretty much get an action plan for any keyword to decide how you should be able to rank on these AI search engines. And as you can see, the first thing that it's going to do is search online for lists, listicles that I mentioned in the first step, and also rankings of top rated SEO agencies in London. So if you want to feature in AI search engines, you still need to make sure you're ranking well on Google search engines, because this is a key source that these LLMs go to. Furthermore, if you want to rank well on ChatGPT, ChatGPT is part owned by Microsoft, and ChatGPT uses Bing search results in its answers. So you'd want to make sure that your website or your client's website also ranks well on Bing to boost your chances of being picked up. So on that point, even though SEO is evolving, you cannot ignore traditional SEO. Google still has, I believe, over 90% of the search engine market. This is not going away. And if you want to rank well on AI search engines, you need to build all this stuff on top of your existing SEO processes. And then finally, moving on to step 8, as with any SEO efforts that you're doing, you need to make sure you're tracking and improving that over time. You need to be tracking your AI visibility, your rankings, and also your referral traffic. And actually, I'm recording this video and I built together this checklist as well as all of these resources because I am building a tool that helps brands track, score, and boost their visibility in AI search engines, You can actually find that in the second link of the description. It's called Try Known, and you can sign up to our waiting list in order to get early access. So there you are, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Hopefully you're a step closer to ranking in AI search engines. If you have found this video helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.